guys, gals, non-binary pals. It's me, your host with the most, Dr.JWolfenstein. And it is a pleasure to see you all. As you can see, I am playing some more WoW. Uh, Playing the Nightborn this time around. Um, for many reasons. Uh, Most of the reasons being that I want to level up and, have more done and get more done. So I figured I'd start here. Also, hello to my audience on Kick, kick.com. I have started to stream over there as well. I do have an account over there. I have for a while, and I streamed over there a few times. I started over here a few times, but never continued to go or continued, on the way and that kind of thing. But as you can see, I am doing so now. Though it looks like I will have to edit. Edit. Wow, I haven't streamed over there since episode 39 of Seas of Wadari. Alright, well, I think that worked. So. But, yeah, so streaming on Kick now and streaming on Twitch and, got all kinds of fun stuff going on. I apparently need to, for some reason, it's not picking up the audio of the game. Interesting. Huh. Well, I guess we'll have to, makes no sense. But we'll go ahead and adjust the audio a little bit, so when I do finally pick it up, we can go on about our merry day. Calculator app. Strange. Odd. Oh well. But we're gonna keep leveling up our Nightborn. We're currently going through all the starting positions and starting levels in order to, kind of see what's up and have a good time, all things considered. But yeah, so with us playing through the Nightborn and on a mage, this is one of my first times playing a mage. I do have a Volpera Mage as well, but I figured I would play through the Nightborn. Again, it's a heritage armor set that I need. And that's kind of what I'm doing, is ultimately going to collect heritage armors. So that's kind of what I want to get done. So hopefully it'll be easy enough. And let's go ahead and... Oh! Hello, Thomas. Welcome to the volunteer list. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. I do not allow Discord names in the chat, but thank you so very much. Thanks for the follow, and I hope you like what you're seeing and seeing what you like. Mm-hmm. Na-na-na. Na-na-na. Hello, hello. Na-na-na. 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 I need Coltiran treasures. I need the treasures of Coltiras. Ah! You're dead, son. You're dead, Jim. He's dead, Jim. Jim, I'm a doctor, not a cannibal. No, you dead is what you is, Jim. Ba-na-na, ooh, yeah. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it. Gonna get it. Oh, wow, 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 wow. Frostbolt, Fire Blast, Icy Thing, Frostbolt, Sphere, and then that thing. I need more health regen. And this seems to be struggle bussing. Struggle bussing, struggle bussing, struggle bussing, wah! Never gonna get it, never gonna get it. We're gonna get it. So I need to keep eating some food. She's like me for real, for real. She eats food and she feels better. Also, I know you guys can't see it, but I got some new glasses today. And yeah, I really like them. Got all the cool little lenses to help me, all the cool little, extras to help me see better and help me game better and not get eye fatigue as easy. So yeah, it's going to be a good time. Hopefully we'll see an improvement in my gameplay. Well, there's the music finally kicking in. Just as a fun heads up, hopefully I'll be able to start streaming Monster Hunter Wilds tomorrow night, as it does come out. I'm not going to make any promises other than I am going to try, because unfortunately the last time I tried to stream a game that was more modern, Space Marines 2, my computer went abso-fucking-lutely not. We're not doing it. We're not going to try to do it. You crazy person. So maybe I'll end up having to record some sessions, or, not exactly put them out here, kind of like streams, but I can upload them as YouTube videos. I am going to get back to uploading Warcraft videos. Just because, I do like the Warcraft videos, and I do want to complete both Warcraft 1 and 2, and then, of course, 3, the actual proper RTSs, because I think that'll be fun. I think it'll be a good time, and so I'm looking forward to doing that. I hope the rest of you are as well. Um, ooh, you got wrecked, son. And if I end up not being able to stream Monster Hunter Wilds, I do have another game that I can start to stream. A game I actually picked up because of Queso, Supermarket Simulator. So that'll be fun. It'll be, it'll be a good time. So yeah, I'll have a few options to go with and to run with. So I look forward to it. Never going again. Never going again. I require a target. With my slightly British accent and etherealness, I require a target. Man up, man up. Gotta find a couple more Marines! Marines! Oh, baby, baby. Gotcha, sucker. Hey, 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 hey. Who's you? You a sucker, that's who you is. Thanks for inviting the killer kung fu wolf bitch to the crib, granddad. I didn't know she was a killer kung fu wolf bitch. I love the Boondocks. It's such a great show. Didn't deserve to be canceled, but damn would it not fly in today's world. Um, yeah. Blood and thunder. Zug zug. Ogie dogie. Something you doing? Work, work. I can't build there. Fun times for everybody. Now, have you had enough time to find this, gosh? Man, it's bullshit. Oh well. Gives me an excuse to keep talking. But yeah, so I plan to play some Supermarket Simulator. I um, plan to play some Monster Hunter. I'm a bow user, so it'll be interesting for me to see how the bow changed this go around. Because in Rise it wasn't great. There was definitely, it felt off. There's just, I don't know, something about it I didn't like. But hopefully this go around it'll be nice and smooth. I've liked what I've seen of like the like trailers for the weapons. Um, so I've liked what I've seen. I might also, depending on like if I'm feeling squirrely, I might go hunting horn and like give that a test run. If not, then like I'll probably end up doing sword and shield if I don't like go with something new or crazy. Although maybe I might go bow gun and just give myself a automatic, just go full range. But maybe like the heavy bow gun to like, switch it out a bit, something fun. But we'll see. So, I there's a couple ideas I'm floating here. There's a good chance I'll be playing with the Cali Cat, so hopefully there'll be, once or twice where I play with her and she's on stream with us all, and we all have some good times. So, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be good times. Um, but we'll end up seeing what all we come up with. But it'll promise to be an interesting time. I really like the Monster Hunter games. They present a lot of challenges, and they're games that are hard, not for the sake of being hard, but because there's monsters that tend to be harder than others, and so it tends to be a good time. And ultimately speaking, I think that's what attracts me. Plus, the monsters themselves are really interesting. And as a zoologist by training, I really do like monsters and like seeing how they like would work in their world and their environments and habitats and things like that. I think it's a lot of fun. So I'm super stoked. Um, so it'll be a good time, and we'll see about we'll see what kind of fun chicanery and shenanigans we get up to in a new Monster Hunter game. I'm looking forward to like that Sparky Rathalos they showed in the trailer. Like I'm super interested in that. Like that'd be kind of cool. And stay cool. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. Um, but so yeah, there's a lot of fun things that I think are gonna come out of playing Monster Hunter. I just hope that I can actually stream it. Let's eat some. Let's eat a mana brownie. You shouldn't eat so many sweets though. You're gonna give yourself cavities and be fat. Be like super fat. Don't tell me what to do. No, you must get closer. Also, yeah, just there's gonna be there's some fun things going on in my life, and yeah, there's tons of fun video games that I think are gonna be a great time. So I look forward to it. Link. For those of you wondering what professions I took inscription and herbalism, obviously, because need to find the stuff for herbalism. But um, there's a couple of glitches. See, why do that to me? Um, Also, I completed the Lord of the Rings achievement in this game. Um, and I have the mount to prove it. I'm super stoked. It took me a long time. Took me many years to collect all of these mounts. 334 of them. And again, some of them I can't use on this character, so they didn't count. No, it's not thundering. It's heavenly. Heavenly. Aha. Heavenly Azure Cloud Serpent. Azul, mira. Dos chicas jalapenos. Isn't it pretty? I like it. It's very pretty. Um, Definitely need to go and see about getting the other Heavenly and Thundering Cloud Serpent mounts. I know there's a few more. Um, so, we'll see how that go. We'll see how that do, buckaroo. I have no interest in any of this goobage. Loss reduction, huh? Oh, well, where's the? Oh, okay. I talked to you. Okay, well, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Got to get up now. Get up, get up, get on up, get on up. I'm kind of mad that they took away the water elemental from Ice Wizards. I'm kind of mad about that. That's like, although to be fair, like, even though that's frankly the only reason I'd ever play an Ice Mage, I'm playing this particular Ice Mage because it works for the story. Um, I'm kind of a super nerd, and some of the first writing I ever did was about World of Warcraft and Warcraft in general, and characters like going through the third war, Warcraft 3, basically. And so I did like, my own custom insert characters, my own night elf character, and like, he fought against um, the Warsong orcs when they invaded the Grove of Cenarius. He was there when Cenarius died, rough stuff like that. And then, um, those stories kind of, and then I wrote like my own like inserts for like the Warcraft comics and what they would. And when I was a kid, I'd go outside and play pretend and do LARPing before that's what it was officially called. And that's what I would LARP is Warcraft. So back in the day, I just was a super nerd and did super nerdy things. And back when I was a little chaos spirit, but it like I had a lot of fun with it. And so when I got into World of Warcraft and I, started to make characters that would last, because when I played vanilla, like I was making a new character like every other week, because again, I was just, creating characters. And then I started to, then about Wrath, I started to dedicate myself to like one or two characters. And then I made full on like backstories for them, like how what they did before they were involved in Warcraft and before they came involved in the setting. Like for example, and actually, you know what? This is a fun story time. So give me a second. Let me kill this dude, and then I'll kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. Nope, not exit game. Not exit game. Log out. So, Artemis Mooney. Her real name was. I didn't want to put Moonk, so I put Mooney. But her full name was going to be Artemis Moonkin. She actually is a survivor from way back in the day, but she is a survivor of the War of the Satyrs. Way back when she joined the Sentinels back then, and she fought alongside the Alliance at Mount Hyjal in the Third War. She was she's pretty fun as far as characters go. She ended up perishing in she ended up following Tyrande across the seas to the Eastern Kingdoms, Tyrande and Maiev and the rest. And unfortunately, she was among Tyrande's sentinels when she got swept downriver. Unfortunately, though, Artemis never survived, but she did get brought back into Undeath by a lich. And so now she is a undead. She managed to break away when Sylvanas broke away, and she kind of held out and then rejoined Night Elf Society, kind of using illusions to disguise herself as still alive. Galen is actually... he was actually part of Muradin's expedition to Northrend. He is actually a Wildhammer dwarf, not a Bronzebeard. And he followed Muradin north and was one of the few to survive the betrayal of Arthas and fled back home to Airy Peak, and didn't show his face again until the Cataclysm happened. Like, he just stayed there learning the ways of the shaman and trying to better himself and prepare for the next big event, and that was the Cataclysm. Apollo, he was a ranger in the service of, so ultimately in the service of Sylvanas, but he joined the Rangers back when her sister was still running it. I think Valera, I think Verisa, or it might have been Illyria, but back when the other sister was still running the Rangers. He actually died. He died when Arthas, of course, invaded Quel'Thalas. He was among Sylvanas' camp, and when he was revived, he came back as an undead, and then, of course, as this elf undead, and he's been a proud defender of Quel'Thalas ever since. In fact, he actually went forth and defended Quel'Thalas first. Bitha paled down, like down comforters and down like feathers. Bitha became a demon hunter when Illidan after they saved Illidan from Maiev in Outland, she stayed behind and joined him and proceeded to want to hunt down demons. She was a hunter before that, so she already knew kind of how to hunt and how to do other things. But when he offered, her a chance to be a proper hunter of demons and the true enemies of Azeroth, she took it. And she then went on to found a guild known as the Wolves of Azeroth, which is where most of my Horde, pretty much all of my Horde characters are going to end up in that guild. But she decided that they didn't need code or creed. They didn't need to be faction tied. They needed to be world tied. And so she went and found other like-minded individuals to help her found or create her guild. And she was always the one to go and approach the new races, new recruits, and other things like that. Apollo was actually her third person to join the ranks. You then have Trixie Swiftpaw. She's actually from a family of Volpera that all joined the Horde at the same time. And they all decided to leave Voldunai and go and join the Horde because, again, it's full of adventure and mystery, and who knows what kind of funds they could get up to. Zazel Sharpclaw, he is of the Frostwolf clan, and unlike most of the Frostwolves who stayed in Frostfire Ridge, he actually traveled the length and breadth of old Draenor and wanted to see and experience the world and wanted to catch and see wild animals that he'd never seen before. Rivala Rivala, her name was going to be Strongarm. She is one of the Dark Iron Dwarves who were she liked the idea of joining the Alliance. She liked the idea of being part of the Alliance and working with the other dwarves, but that was an unpopular opinion at the time, so she kept it mostly to herself and just acted as a scout for the Dark Irons. Now, she did technically let the Horde and the Alliance enter Blackrock Keep and enter those raids and dungeons without any hindrance on her part, and she was one of the first when Moira called for unity. She was one of the first to speak up. Kanar Allspell, he's actually a Highborn, though he kept that shit secret. He basically went to being just a warrior and a fighter and learned the art of the blade, but he's actually straight up a Highborn. And so he was actually a fan of Illidan way back when and thought that Illidan got a bad rap before they imprisoned him. or when they imprisoned him. So he actually never agreed with the imprisoning of him, and so when he was freed, he was quick to join Illidan, and basically continued to follow Illidan ever since. You've got Nixon Swiftpaw. She is a monk. She's been a monk for a long time. And again, she's part of the Swiftpaw clan who joined the Horde, and she is a monk, so she's trying to find a balance. She ultimately wants to find a balance between the Horde and the Alliance and have them come to an agreement, as she has made friends with several other monks and has even made allies with unlikely people like Hio Windfall here. Jethella, she was a recluse when the Scourge came and destroyed everything, so she didn't poke her head out of her cabin. She kind of just was at one with nature, and then the Scourge came and killed her and raised her into undeath. But when Sylvanas broke away, she was one to break away as well and join the Forsaken. And then, of course, she's learned the ways of the monk. Nara Firepaw and Hio Windfall are actually cousins. And they both joined the Horde and the Alliance separately. The reason they joined the Horde and the Alliance, though, Nara is very much, she's got a fiery temper, and she likes that the Horde is a faction of action. But her other big thing is that she also believes in home and family and hearth, and the Horde seems to uphold those ideals a little more. Now, Hio is more of order and structure, and everything must follow in its proper path, and everybody has a place and needs to follow it. So he joined the Alliance. He also tends to be a retrospective thinker, and so he's never liked the brashness of the Horde. Aranix, Zinana, Rico, and Mikiki, Swiftpaws, are again all Voduni. Rico, though, is kind of adopted into the Swiftpaw clan. She unfortunately fell and was raised into service by the new Lich King. And again, she doesn't regret it, it's just a thing that happened. Kunil, I can't put that cool little checka to like separate the troll names, but Kunil is actually a fairly new troll. He was born in Orgrimmar back when the Darkspear were first setting up, and he was there when Zalazane kind of kicked out what's his name, Vol'jin. And Kunil has always been a loyal supporter of Vol'jin and took part in the rebellion. Mesete, she is new to the Alliance. She came in Argus. She is one of the demons who defected, and Eridar, who defected during that time, and basically asked Velen to forgive her. And when he did, she sought out the Naru, and they blessed her with the gift of the light. What can I say about Ixtech? Ixtech Rapid Wrench. Or Itex. Itex. Itex is... he's a goblin through and through. He learned how to commune with demons because he's like, oh, hey, I can just summon mooks to do what I want, and I don't have to pay them anything, and they're not real people, and I don't have to treat them with any kind of respect. Count me in. He's not a good person. But when Gazlo, came a-knocking, and, when he was enslaved by Trade Prince Gallywix, he quickly decided to join the Horde and Basically, he's put as much distance from himself and Gallywix as he can. Hates Gallywix with a passion and has sworn that one day he will kill that fat goblin. Uh, Eledrin Night Song. She is one of the. She is a void elf who She is a high elf and then became a void elf, and she followed the Windrunner through the dark portal and never looked back. However, when she was touched by the void, she also learned to commune with the Fel and the dark magics of a warlock. And so she has begun to. She doesn't want to deal with demons so much as she just wants to rain down destruction upon her enemies. And so she has gone that way. Zalio, Swiftpaw, and Runecon Swiftpaw are brothers of the Swiftpaw clan. And one is brawn, one is brain. Runecon has sworn to defend his brother Zalio with his life and has since become a great warrior. Zalio has decided that joining the Horde is probably a good idea overall, and so he feels no need to try to stop anything. And again, he's keeping an eye on the rest of the Swiftpaw clan, and ultimately he's kind of looking forward to seeing what they come up with overall. So lots of fun with him. Pyrea, she has been a worshiper of the light since before the second war, or before the third war. She actually wanted to be a paladin. She wanted to be a paladin back when they were first introduced in the second war. Also, I have turned off my face tracking just to let the computer kind of keep up a little better. And so she's been a paladin ever since the second war, or the end of the second war, and she's always believed in the light and what it means. But ever since the Scourge came and destroyed Quel'Thalas, she's believed in getting retribution for it. Dopamine Fairchild. Dopamine is a druid of the Kultirans. She comes. The Fairchilds were captains, fairly good captains, and but Dopamine was always more tied to nature than the rest of her family. The rest of them became like proper soldiers and sailors. Dopamine, however, she wanted to commune more with nature, and she became a woods witch, learning and connecting with nature. Rashi's Tizzy Fix. Rashi's is a shaman. She believes in the balance of nature, and she always tries to look for her tech to kind of connect with nature on a better grounds. And she tends to get a lot of backlash for it. But again, she's never minded, and she's been a friend of Gazlo and other goblins for a while. She doesn't trust Gallywix, again, because she ended up, on the slave ship, and she doesn't trust Gallywix, and frankly is kind of like waiting for him to betray everybody again. Like she's like expecting that shit to happen. You then have Laylir Leaf Fog. She is a High Mountain Tauren and has been defending High Mountain as long as she has. When the High Mountain Tauren decided to join the Horde, she was, again, eager to do so, mostly to commune with the ancient lands of the Tauren people, and, again, really travel the world and meet the various different tribes, the Tonka, the Tauren, and the other, bovine creatures. Leo Harding. Leo Harding was a recluse, and frankly, he was a woodsman back in Gilneas, and he was one of the first afflicted with the curse of the Worgen, um, because he was isolated and alone, and a lot of the first Worgen were, people who were isolated from civilization and society and didn't, go out in civilization and society. So he was changed. He's also one of the first to interact with the night elves who taught him control. Yivri, she actually became a druid back when the Zandalari were the enemies. Back when they were trying to revive Hakar the Soul Flayer and getting the other tribes involved, she actually took the defiance of the Dark Spear as a good thing. And so she decided she would devote herself to nature and the druidic aspect, not any one Loa. She pays respect to certain Loa, and when she's in the form of certain creatures, she pays respect to that Loa then. But she's never decided to let the Loa lead her life, as many other people have. Citron Rail, she is a Lightforged Draenei, a paladin of the light, and she believes in the holiness therein. She's always used her powers for good, and she actually doesn't like the zealotry that seems to be cropping up in a lot of the Lightforged. Elsu Sunray, he was among the first Tauren paladins after Bane, and he is of the Sunwalker tribe, and he believed in the light and believed it was, again, one of the first, and always kind of has that proud feeling about him. Zoro Hellblood. Zoro Hellblood was actually a female. She was of the Dragon Maw clan, and she unfortunately fell when the Scourge attacked the Dragon Maw, and she was risen as a Death Knight because she basically held out until a Death Knight, a powerful Death Knight under Arthas' command, came and killed her. But otherwise, she held on and was ready to fight. Damon Reeves, he was one of the paladins that was murdered by Arthas when he tried to claim the urn of his father. Well, didn't try, succeeded. And he died horribly there. Orisa Shan, as you've seen, and Henzo, both of whom are fairly new to the Horde and the Alliance. They've come in recently in order to help protect their people, as well as give their people a new outlook on life. Rajur and Nazat are the same in that regard. Both of them are Drakthir who have recently awoken and finding themselves, frankly, betrayed by what they thought was their ideals, and they are not appreciative. Zanaz is a warrior of the Drakthir and believes in the good, honorable fight, and will fight for the Dragon Isles, and frankly, will fight against all challengers. Trixie Ashtan. She is a warrior. She is a marine. And she has been serving in the Kultiris Navy since after Jaina's betrayal of the Lord Admiral. She didn't know why they were betrayed, but again, she just kind of accepted it as the fact and moved the hell on from it. She just doesn't understand, though, and she wishes that someday she will understand and learn why this happened. I do plan to create an Earthen on both sides. God, female Earthen are fugly. But I do plan to create an Earthen on both sides. Probably going to... What's their hunter? What, they don't have a hunter pet? That's fucking stupid. Well, I'll probably go Shaman and then Paladin for the other one. So, probably something like that. We'll see. Yeah, female Earthen are just fugly. Ugh. I like their totems though. Frankly, any race who gets to have a totem, I like the I do like the customization they put into it. The Draenei here have a good one for customization. The It's ale barrels for the Pandaren. Fear don't get one, so that's what that is. The Light Force Draenei don't. The Dark Iron do, and their drills. That's kind of fun. Anchors and buoys. The battle axes are really good touches. The High Mountain Torns, their eagle totems, because again, the Great Eagle is their worship deity. The regular Tauren have the typical brave totems from way back in the day. Maghar orcs get the cup of Gul'dan, which is kind of fun. The voodoo masks of the trolls. Again, another really fun one to work with. The golden tikis, which is again fun. And then these guys are also like goblin drills. I really like the Volperas because they're, the fox totems, and the element is the tail that wraps around it, which is really fun. So, yeah, just a lot of kind of fun stuff. And then, frankly, the druids all get their own, like, unique, cool-looking doodads, too. Like, again, each of theirs, looks unique. Wow, whatcha. So, and then the Worgen druids look a little more like wild. And then the Night Elf druids, some of the OGs. Wow. Get all that purple Night Elf flair to them. Let's see, any other races can become druids? Okay, so 3 on the Alliance and 4 on the Horde. Yeah, I remember when druids were like Alliance only. Or maybe they were available to Tauren out the gate. Can't remember. It's been a while. Yeah, the more savannah looking creatures, and then turn into the crazy colored jungles. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. But anyway, so yeah, those are kind of the stories I came up with. And again, I've been editing those stories ever since. Ultimately speaking, Galen Skyfist, which is his name, or no, Sky King. That's right, Sky King. He created a guild called the Swords of Azeroth, or the Knights of Azeroth, or was it Knights of the Round? I can't remember. But ultimately speaking, he created his guild to defend Azeroth, because again, he's a shaman and he believed Azeroth was the thing that needed defending, not necessarily any one faction. And, he caught a lot of flack for it, but again, he grabbed up the other various Alliance members you saw me go through, and ever since then, and all the Horde members and all the Alliance members are in these 2 guilds, and these 2 guilds have decided to start working together in light of the Fourth War, and, the war against Sylvanas and the battle for Azeroth. Ultimately speaking, because they believe that it's their place to defend Azeroth, and they don't necessarily agree with the petty squabbles of the past. They also didn't participate in the Shadowlands as a guild. A few of their members decided to brave the Fields of Death in order to help restore order and balance. However, many of the Horde people, specifically a lot of the Horde, the Undead and the Blood Elves, decided that they couldn't go against Sylvanas like that. They just refused to do so. Artemis didn't decide to go against Sylvanas. One of the Volpera, specifically Aronix, he decided to go into the Land of Death, mostly because he was tired of, he didn't want death to take over the world, such as it were. Rico didn't go. You did also have, there's one other I know started. Trixie, she went there mostly to see what kind of interesting creatures lived on the other side. Because she was kind of curious if, what happened after death, so she went. On the Alliance side, frankly, it's only Kanar. And mostly because he didn't want he followed Tyrande there. Kanar has kind of taken it upon himself to keep an eye on Tyrande, who was Illidan's lost love. And so he's kind of been following Tyrande around, kind of keeping an eye on her ever since. But that's about it. No one else has really decided to delve into the Shadowlands. Both the Wolves of Azeroth and the Knights of the Round, though, both of them went into the Dragon Isles, because both agree that the dragons and the aspects are protectors of Azeroth, and Azeroth needs her defenders now more than ever. And then, of course, in the War Within, both guilds have started to head to the deeps and are looking to see what they can do to stop Xal'atath. And now that, Gallywix has made himself an enemy, the goblins in the Wolves of Azeroth have decided, we finally get to destroy Gallywix. We finally get to remove him from power. This will be awesome. So for them, they're using it as the excuse to get close to Gallywix and hopefully kill him. But that's kind of the story of my Warcraft characters. Sorry, this one was a lot of me talking. But this is kind of what I've come up with, and I'm really proud of what I've come up with over the years. And again, this is where my writing career kind of got started. So I'm glad to see it. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I think I'm going to cut the stream here. It is getting kind of late, and my computer is really having a tough time tonight.